Welcome to the deep dive. Today we are stripping back the layers of a source transcript that seems, on the surface, deceptively simple. It's all about daily life, work routines, and the vocabulary you need to talk about them. It's actually from an English learning platform.
Right.
But our mission isn't, to learn the basics. We're going to use this as a lens to quickly pull out two things. First, the core phrases that really govern professional life. And second, the surprisingly deep and honestly hilarious insights into how people, maybe you, maybe us, actually manage their routines.
Or fail to manage them.
Or wonderfully fail to manage them, exactly.
Yeah.
We're aiming for that shortcut to understanding the structure and the fun failure of daily scheduling.
Okay, let's unpack this, because what makes the source material so useful right away, beyond just the language part, is how it sets up this dual narrative. We get two totally distinct models for how to live your day. One is super structured, aspirational, and the other is just gloriously chaotic. And understanding that contrast, that's the real deep dive here. It kind of forces you to ask which one actually works for your own life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that dual narrative drops us right into our first segment, the tale of two work routines. We've got Anna, the archetype of structure, and then we have Mr. B.
The patron saint of scheduling failure.
He really is.
So Anna, she's the sunshine human, as the source calls her, and her routine is detailed with this, remarkable precision. She starts early, around 7 a.m.
Which is already impressive.
It is. And her morning sequence, it's not just a list, it's a real commitment to preparation. Wake up, shower, get dressed, eat a proper breakfast. The order matters. It sets her up for the day before she even touches her emails.
And her work life totally reflects that. She starts reliably, checks emails, and then, this is key, she actively talks to people. The sources really emphasize that she enjoys her work. She likes helping people. She likes learning. The motivation is internal, which helps keep that external routine going.
If you were to look at this from a productivity angle, Anna is running on a principle of flow. She makes sure her own battery is charged first. Sleep, hygiene, food, and that enables her professional output. It's the model you always see in self-help books.
But then we pivot to Mr. B, and his routine is less of a schedule and more like a series of existential shrugs.
I love his summary of his morning.
It's the best. He joke, I wake up, cry, drink coffee, and then cry again.
And even though it's a joke, it says so much. It reveals this sort of resignation to the day's demands.
Yeah.
And what's so fascinating is that Mr. B doesn't reject work itself. He does serious things. He prepares lessons, records videos, helps students. That takes focus. But he rejects the structure around it. His start time is completely elastic.
Right. He says usually 9 a.m., but then he immediately backtracks.
Immediately. Sometimes 9:30, sometimes 10:00, or, maybe lunchtime. That inconsistency is the absolute signature of his fun chaos model.
And the source gives us that brilliant insight into his struggle with planning. I mean, he tries to be structured. He writes his tasks down.
Oh, yeah.
And for a second, he feels very professional. It's the act of writing the list that gives him that little hit of satisfaction.
That's the key distinction, isn't it? The feeling of being professional versus the reality of actually doing the things.
Yes.
He looks at his own list and basically thinks, this is a great plan for someone else to do.
Exactly.
That quote, nope, not today, is just. It's the sound of your brain's fatigue winning out over your good intentions. It's such an honest picture of how a lot of people, especially in creative jobs, manage their energy. The list is just aspirational wallpaper.
That is a perfect way to put it. Which brings us to how we talk about all this. If you need to communicate this stuff, you need precision. And that shifts our focus to segment 2. Deconstructing the daily routine vocabulary.
Right. And if we connect this back to the source's original goal language learning, we see why being precise is so important. The first, and I think most valuable distinction it makes is between wake up and get up.
So simple, but so important. They are not the same thing.
Not at all. And it's a common point of confusion for learners. But even as native speakers, we kind of take for granted how much work those little phrasal verbs are doing. Wake up is just a state change. Your eyes open, your brain switches on.
But get up. That's a physical action. That's a decision. It requires effort.
It absolutely does. And the source gives us that perfect, memorable image. Sometimes you wake up, but you don't get up. You just stay in bed like a potato.
The sleepy potato face. I know it well.
We all do. But linguistically, it teaches you that English uses these little phrasal verbs, a verb plus a preposition, to describe all these tiny sequential actions of the morning. You can't just simplify it without losing some meaning.
That's such a deep observation. The whole morning routine is basically a sequence of phrasal verbs. It's the story of going from potato to person. And the list the source provides, the one Anna follows, is that foundational narrative of a working adult. Wakes up, gets up, brushes his teeth, takes a shower, eats breakfast, on and on.
Exactly. And the source is smart. It moves from those personal actions to professional ones, giving you a really structured set of work phrases. For a beginner, just knowing how to frame a sentence about time and location at work, that's like professional currency.
And the structures they give are so simple but so flexible. You have your time markers, I start work at, I finish work at, and the all-important, I have a meeting. That's the scaffolding for any professional day.
And I like the simplicity of the action phrases too. I send emails. I talk to customers. It's not abstract, it's just the direct function of a job.
Then you get the location markers, which tell you where you're working or what you're focused on. I work in an office, at home, with people, or on a computer.
Mm-hmm.
Those little prepositions in, at, with, on, they communicate so much context.
Yeah, the strength of this whole vocabulary section is how it shows you that really simple grammar can convey a complex professional identity. It helps you move past just labeling your job to actually describing your work life.
It's practical language.
Hmm.
And I think one reason it sticks is because the source immediately connects it back to the messy human reality behind those neat phrases. Which brings us to segment 3, the importance of funny everyday moments. These anecdotes are what make it all memorable.
Oh, they're the memory anchors for sure. They show you it's okay to be imperfect, and that language is dynamic enough to capture absurdity. We talked about Mr. B's chaos, but his coffee anecdote is just, it's universal.
I have to go through that one again. It's too good. He goes to the fridge, opens it, sees there's no milk, and closes it.
Standard.
Then, without even a pause, he opens it again. And his reason was just gold.
Yeah.
He thought the milk might magically appear. Or maybe he said, the milk is shy.
It's that momentary break from logic, right? It's driven by pure exhaustion and desperate hope. We've all done that. Looked in the same empty spot twice, hoping for a different outcome. It's like you're testing reality itself.
And Anna, our sunshine human, she's not immune to this either. She tells that story about being so tired she put her phone in the fridge next to the vegetables.
I love that.
She said her phone was very cold and needed a jacket.
Which really raises an interesting question, doesn't it? Why does that kind of extreme mental fatigue lead to these very specific, surreal mistakes with household items? The shy milk, the cold phone.
Right.
It feels like a short circuit between what you intend to do and your spatial awareness, probably linked to those automatic actions we do all the time, like opening the fridge. The source just uses these moments perfectly.
And the humor just keeps going with their weekend failures.
Mm.
It shows that even when they try to do things outside of work, the chaos is still there.
Mr. B trying to clean his room is my absolute favorite example of productive procrastination. He had the full setup, he put on music, he got the broom out, the intention was totally there.
All the signs of productivity.
All the signs. And then he just sat on his bed and fell asleep for 2 hours.
He called it amazing cleaning, very productive. The irony is just fantastic. Sometimes the biggest win of the day is just getting some rest, even if it happens by accident while you're holding a broom.
And you contrast that with Anna's failure, which was very active, but still a total failure. Her attempt at making pancakes.
Oh, the burn cakes?
The burn cakes.
Got it.
She burned the first one, then the second. The third one looked like a sad black circle, and her dog wouldn't even eat it.
Even the dog had standards. But these stories, they're the delivery system for all that vocabulary we talked about. They put terms like cook dinner or clean the house into a real, messy human context.
Exactly. And that messiness of life leads us perfectly into our next segment, segment 4, the weekend escape. So after all the work and all the failures, how do these two people, chaos and structure, actually approach relaxation?
And they approach it so differently, which totally reflects who they are. Mr. B's weekend is all about maximum relaxation, minimal effort. He sleeps in, he drinks his coffee slowly, he enjoys a long breakfast.
His activities are all low stakes, meeting friends, some casual shopping, going to a cafe. And his take on exercise is exactly what you'd expect from the fun chaos guy.
Very little.
Very little, like maybe 5 minutes, which he probably logs as a full workout. His recovery is all about passive enjoyment.
But Anna is different. She's actively seeking peace and tranquility. It feels like she needs to decompress from her structured week in a very intentional way. Her ideal plan is all about nature. Going to the beach, reading a book, walking by the water, maybe some ice cream. Her relaxation is a calculated move towards serenity.
That's a really crucial insight. Mr. B is recovering from the stress of fighting his routine all week. whereas Anna is recovering from the discipline of maintaining hers. They both need downtime, but one looks for passive rest and the other looks for active tranquility.
And for you, the listener, the big takeaway here is the amazing range of vocabulary the source gives you to talk about all this. It covers every possible weekend scenario.
Yeah, the source gives you these simple, powerful phrases. I relax on weekends. I meet friends. I go shopping. I clean my house. I watch movies. I go to the park. I stay at home. It's the whole toolkit for describing your social, domestic, and personal recovery time.
What really stands out to you is just how well this short transcript captures the totality of modern life, from the stressful workday to the, relaxing or failed weekend.
It really is a masterclass in applying language to relatable human struggles. We've pulled out the contrast between Anna and Mr. B. We've looked at that fine linguistic line between wake up and get up, and we anchored it all with those hilarious stories about shy milk and burn cakes.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the source's whole point is that learning happens best through enjoyment. The humor isn't just a distraction, it's the glue. It's what makes the vocabulary of daily life actually stick with you.
Totally. It makes it feel less like homework and more like you're just sharing a story. It proves that even a dry topic, like the sequence of morning verbs, can become memorable when you frame it with honest, relatable failure.
So, we've looked at both models. We have the disciplined, responsible adult in Anna and the flexible, fun, chaos expert in Mr. B. So here is our final provocative thought for you to take away. Given the demands of modern creative and professional life, which approach the structured path or the flexible, sometimes chaotic one, do you find more psychologically sustainable in the long run? And maybe more importantly, how much sleepy potato time is truly necessary to fuel your next big task? Think about that tension between aspiration and reality until the next time we dive deep.